We got hards on. We're going to the end.
Lando Norris, rest in peace. Piastri, congratulations on the WDC. Oh, my blood is boiling. Lando Norris. By the way, I didn't watch the final 5 laps of this race, so I should probably actually check on what the final standings were. But it has just ended, and it is indeed a Piastri win. A Piastri 25-point swing in a weekend alone. This is disastrous. I do think, at the very least, towards the final few laps of this race, let's say final 5 laps, which was a couple laps away from, or at least the final 3 laps, I think Norris would have got into the DRS. Whether he would have overtaken, probably not. But I reckon he would have gone to the DRS, and he would have finished second here. Like, even on the restart when Max was on softs, like, even if he did manage to overtake Lando, when Lando's on mediums, he's on softs, it's like, all this is going to do is it's going to stop Lando's chances from winning this race. He's going to get overtaken by Max on the softs and take him back a couple of laps there. Like, it's not going to be a big deal. It's just going to stop him winning. Worst case scenario was Lando finishes second. That was worst case scenario. Lando finished nowhere. His car blew up. I guess what would be the quickest way? F1 standings. I don't even want to. It's going to make for horrible reading. But the next 7th, okay, at least it's only a week where we can hopefully right these wrongs. But here's the thing. Righting these wrongs isn't going to be Lando winning the next race and Piastri finishing last. It's going to be Lando winning by the skin of his teeth and Piastri being right behind him by 4 tenths. Oh, congratulations, you gained 7 points, whatever the swing is. The final standings as they are, DNF for Hamilton, Leclerc, Norris. I mean, Hamilton had a fine enough weekend. He was slightly behind Leclerc in qualifying. The race, he was kind of just stuck behind Russell. Makes a mistake, goes off. He's going to be really kicking himself about that. He's in his real self-harm hit. Wow, that's difficult to say. He's in his real self-harm phase. He's really putting himself down in the in public. That's what I'm trying to say. He's really beating himself up. Would be the more PC way of saying that. Leclerc. I really like Leclerc. Leclerc kind of had me like jealous today. That's like for the first time where I had, when people tweet stuff like, what happened recently? Oh, like that kid, Rio, what's his last name? I can't remember out. I want to say it's like Nagumu or something. I don't remember. 16-year-old, they signed him from Chelsea. Obviously, heartbreaking for me because he scores the winner against Newcastle the other day. 16 years of age, 4th youngest goal scorer in Premier League history, and people tweet stuff like, just looked at my brother inside, because you see like, some 16-year-old kids scoring at St James's Park. It's like, what's the capacity at St James's Park? It's like 60,000, 65 maybe? Big stadium, big event, Newcastle, Liverpool. It's one of those games that feels a bit like a derby, even though it's not a derby, just because of like the Isak thing that's going on. There's a lot of like, I think it's just be breaking down football here, but I saw Leclerc just be like, fuck it, send it up the inside of George. Pulls, send up the inside of George, and then just on the gravel, just force it round and then defend like how he did. And I looked over at my guy Lando Norris and I just sighed the heaviest sigh. Once again, like the last weekend, if you can remember that far back, he gets the better start. But he loses the place on the start. He does get Max first time of asking, which has been more than I can say for him most times this season at least. But yeah, I mean, it's annoying. I wish that second safety car didn't happen. I mean, his car would have blown up anyway probably, but just the fact that he was gaining on him really slowly. They were like ebbing and flowing and like going back and forth a little bit, but he was bringing it down into the DRS, and I think he would have got there at least he would have been into the DRS with a good 15 laps to go if I think the race went on how it was looking like it was going to, and there was a real chance there, but it's all if, buts and maybes. It's all coulda, woulda, shouldas. Didn't happen. He goes out. 25-point swing. It's just, I don't think, I mean, just as easy as this happened to Lando, to Piastri it could happen. You want to believe, but it probably won't. I don't think he's had a car issue apparently since 2023. He's not going to get taken out by anyone else unless he just has a really bad qualifying out of nowhere, which I don't think he's going to have, because as long as he qualifies at the front, he's always going to be ahead, which means he's never going to have to bow, which means he's never going to be in a situation where he gets taken out. And it's not that unlikely with the cars and how well they're made these days. I mean, look at Verstappen. There was points in time where I was like, not only does Verstappen win every race, but his engineers get the strategy bang on right every time, and the car never has any faults. So very easily, there might just not be a chance to get a swing that big. And I don't think he's going to beat him for every race here on out. Because even if he finishes first and Piastri finishes second, every race here on out. I mean, yeah, okay. What is it, a 6, 7, 8 point swing for finishing first or second? I think you get 25 if you're first, 18 if you're second. So that's what, 6, 7? Sure, you could slowly bring that down, but I just don't see that kind of dominance happening out of nowhere. So you're basically at this point the champ that has kind of effectively won you the championship, unless Piastri's car just happens to explode in a week where you're first. And to be honest, any week you could potentially be first if Piastri's car explodes with how quick that McLaren is. Moving up from there, Bortolo don't care, Gasly don't care, Hulkenberg don't care, Carlos Sainz. Look, if you watch F1 the way I watch F1, you don't really know what's happening when it comes to things like overtakes and crashes, or when they're getting on the radio complaining, because no matter what happens, both drivers are going to say it's the other driver's fault. When Carlos Sainz crashed with Liam Lawson, you know, again, it's that situation. I can't tell whose fault it is, but you hear Carlos Sainz immediately get on the radio calling for Lawson's head, saying, Lawson, this guy every time, terrible driver, you know? And we hear nothing from Lawson, which kind of just makes his silence seem deafening. It kind of just makes it seem like, oh, that is an acceptance of guilt or whatever. 10-second time penalty for Carlos Sainz. I'm assuming, Liam Lawson was definitely in the wrong because Carlos Sainz said it and the commentators didn't really query it. Apparently not. The professional stewards have said it was a complete flip of that, and it's Carlos Sainz's fault. Not only is it his fault, but it's a 10-second penalty, which the commentators did disagree with. And it's just funny. He gets on the radio because, like, I know they're in a high pressure, serious situation, but how can you not, like, just be like, you know, you've got the information before Carlos, you've got to now deliver it to him, and you never know what his reaction's going to be, and you've got to click your little button and be like, Carlos, yes, you know, do the whole spiel, 10-second penalty. He knows it's fair. He knows he's getting it. But for me, you are joking. Imagine they were joking. Yeah, we're joking, Carlos. It's for Liam. We just pulling your leg. They're just having a bit of banter. No. For me, you're saying this is for me. You're joking, right? This is for me? Confirm? And then just reply, you got. Honestly, I would say some of the funniest moments from radios is just like Leclerc and the team, like Ferrari a lot. I know he's now at Williams, but just like the broken English sometimes. Who got the penalty? You got. Just the funniest way. He just said it. And when you see it written on screen as well, the little full stop, just like, just waiting for Carlos to start screaming. But, that was a crazy 10 of events. Colapinto, Ocon, Sonoda, 10th. Alonso, also another guy screaming at his team. Alonso finishing behind Stroll again, by the way. I felt like this has been going under the radar. When I looked at the mid-season breakdown, I was kind of crazy how, like, wait, I think, what was it, they were on the same amount of points or something? It's like, Lance Stroll's low-key been beaten, or he's ahead of him, low-key been beaten Alonso and no one's talking about it. Maybe Alonso's been getting fucked over, but I don't really care how it's been happening. People need to start talking about that because that's kind of wild. Behrman up in 7th, that's going to get looked over quite a lot. I mean, where was Ocon? 11th. So big points for Behrman, who is being beat by his teammate. Another thing I only really learned. I knew that Ocon was probably winning. I didn't know by that much. That's pretty big for Behrman. They'll probably get overshadowed because there is 2 rookies ahead of him in Antonelli in 6th. Who, where was Russell? Russell was 4th. I mean, Antonelli in 6th is a fine result considering where his teammate is. Not great in the fact that he fucking span out Leclerc in the process, who was on for a decent race, clawing something back. Albon in 5th, that's probably, all these are going to be overshined because of a certain man on the podium probably, and because of the big Norris discussion of it all. But Albon in 5th is pretty crazy, especially because he started well behind Carlos. He gained like 5 places on the start, and he finished 5th. That's going to actually be a real big swing. Where did he start? I think he didn't make it out of Q1, sorry. Which means that max, I think it was like 15th. So 15th to 5th is pretty crazy. Where's Hulkenberg during all this, by the way? He finished 15th. Russell was fourth. Usually he's Mr. Just waltz into a podium, just like not really do much over the course of a race and just waltz his way into a podium. Just like, hey, happy to be here. I'm here too. Drinks of this, like, he just walk into the party, just like show up out of nowhere. But this time it was Hadja, gets his first podium. Second rookie this season with a podium, right? Colapinto's been on, not Colapinto, sorry, Colapinto. In your dreams, mate. Kimi's been on the podium. Now Hadja. We're spreading love. I don't know why people think this is a bad season. This is a boring season because McLaren are winning both races. McLaren are winning both races, but there's been a tight fight. And you've got little moments where other drivers are on the podiums. I mean, how many seasons do you get multiple different rookies on the podiums? I mean, is there any chance of any of the other rookies getting on a podium this year? We've got Behrman, Lawson if you want to count him, Bortoletto, okay, probably not. Probably not. Best chance maybe Behrman, maybe. Or Lawson, I guess. That same car got into third, and he only qualified a little bit behind his team. I think he qualified in 10th, maybe. He was just behind Hamilton. I mean, if his temperament changes a little bit, he's still kind of racist sometimes. Like, he's got this big point to prove. Like, he deserves a seat over Perez. He is back now in the old man bomb squad that is him and Bottas. Honestly, that might be a fan favorite team. That team is just everything I don't care about. Old people coming back. Like, once people go, for the most part, bar a few exceptions, I want them gone. And these old heads coming back in, both got the exact same build. Is Bottas a dad? I don't know, he's kind of got dad energy. Bottas is like, he kind of stands for the same thing in my mind as like a Raikkonen, even if they couldn't be more different. But just in the sense that, like, this guy's just like, I don't know, I feel like Graham Souness right now when he sees Pogba and Lingard dancing in the changing rooms, and he's like, they've got to focus on the game, like you just lost 2-0 to Man United. I haven't heard Graham Souness talking in a while. This accent's terrible. But like, no one grew up wanting to be me as a race driver. No one grew up wanting to be Graham Souness as a footballer. But like, that's how I feel right now when I'm about to say what I want to say. But when I see Bottas and every day it's arse out on the calendar, it's it's what's that thing people do? What's that? How come when people like show their ass on a Wednesday? I feel like people will know what I'm talking about. What's that called? Can I ask ChatGPT? Is this weird? Sorry guys, I'm not a goon or whatever you call yourselves. Chat. What's it called when people show us on a Wednesday? Is Chattaguna hump day? Chat. Why do you know that, ChatGPT, man? You know what? I mean, even ask questions. That is right. Well, that's what Bottas is on. His calendars, his bloody USA surfing mustache, Brewski's the boy. Like, he's just like, and then he's gonna get onto a race weekend and finish 14th, and that's gonna be season best. Like, I just don't. I would have rather seen some new people. I would have rather seen some young people get a chance. I always much prefer that. And these guys' hearts aren't even in it. Perez, he's got a point to prove. They're coming into this Cadillac team. Is this team even going to be that good? Or they've got an Audi engine or whatever? I don't care. I don't care that much about it. But anyway, but fair play, Hadja, third. Verstappen just comfortably second. Teammate was 10th. Verstappen doing Verstappen things. And Piastri wins it. Piastri wins, and even reading that out loud makes me want to rage quit this early. But, God, it breaks my heart. What is the next race? We've got Italy. Which one? Monza. I don't even know what to think. Azerbaijan. Singapore. How many races are even left of this? I mean, there's a decent amount. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like, nah, it's done. It's done, man. Find a new sport to watch. It's not even that Norris can't win it next year even. The car will be designed slightly differently. Maybe the Red Bull will be back. Maybe they'll make it harder. Maybe the car will be designed to be slightly quicker, and now maybe it'll lean into Lando's favour a little bit more. But it's just like, they haven't won it in so long. It's been leading up for Lando to have been the guy to win. He's been at that team for such a while. and then you go Piastri comes in and just wins it instead for their first one in a minute. It just breaks my heart. It breaks it. Oh God. At least now I've kind of accepted it. It's not going to be close right until the final race, and then he wins it in Abu Dhabi, and I'm just streaming tears, and I'm like rage crying. I've got my head out the window. I'll do it. You know, I'm screaming. I'm slamming my head against the wall. But you know, we're just trying to find silver linings here. What's next? Italy, Monza. I'm pretty sure that's the only one I'm good at on the F1 game. So hopefully Lando's the same. This is where he got jumped. Not literally. That was at Wembley. This is where he got jumped by Piastri. I think last year when Lando just found out Piastri's got that dog in him for the first time, basically. But yeah, a short one, because honestly, talking about this is just making me be a person I don't want to be. God, it breaks my heart. How's the one going to the end? I will begrudgingly be back to talk about Monza in a week from now. Danke.